Well, it wasn't on camera then.
Nope,
What about it?
it was well described. Okay,
Now I
so
have to be.
public comment is done now, right?
This
What's that?
It's August 26th, this is the Finance Committee meeting, it's about 5:45. President Pat, Gloria, and myself, John. Any public comment?
Not for me.
Okay,
I'm here to answer questions on PCS.
okay. We'll get right into the PCFs and PRFs then. We are skipping the first two because they were done at the previous meeting. Florence Collins. I've had a chance to look these over. I don't know if everybody did or not, but I can review it if you like.
She's being paid out of the state formula grant, so it doesn't affect the budget at all.
Okay. Writing 1 hour per week at the senior center on Mondays and Thursdays. I don't have a problem with this. If somebody wants to,
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
It's unanimous. I think there's a spot on this one to sign.
Actually, I did talk to Arvin a little bit about that earlier, and I was just kind of, sure, I guess. Once again,
It's nice having them ahead of time to review. Resignation form.
that's the one on the hour.
This is where we don't need to.
PCF, right, we really don't need to see these, but I guess you can't make them stay. And he didn't sign it, but I guess I can do that afterwards.
Wait,
Make a motion to accept both resignations of Jeremy LaRoche and Jim Gerska.
second.
That's perfect.
He's a pro at this.
Jim's been there a long time, and
Yes.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Left that out. It's unanimous.
Let's fight it. Tell them they can't.
Richard's out for the whole week, and Richard's working 25 hours. But I don't know, Scott, that's a game.
I will be abstaining. Oh,
Yeah.
oh. Rachel Janet Capello, I should abstain from voting on her. Does that cause havoc? She is distant from
How distant?
my cousin's daughter. Second.
It'll have absolutely no effect on,
I have no financial impact on one of the firefighters. She's a distant cousin.
A distant?
Well, she's my cousin's daughter, and I know her personally forever, but I have no financial impact of any sort and no reason to vote either way.
Well, you are far enough removed in the ethics chain.
Okay.
Distant cousin, if you want to vote on it.
Okay, because
I think so,
then we don't have a quorum.
Yeah.
Right, I think so too, because it's not like it's your daughter or husband.
No.
All right, so probationary firefighter for Nathan Boudreau.
motion to accept.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. One thing, is there a court? No, these aren't new forms yet.
There was one new form.
It's in there, mixed in. I think it's further down.
You'll see that there's court check up top.
It's good. The form, it's a good improvement. It's just, I just noticed right away there was no signature spot for us.
Yeah, so you just sign them like on the bottom.
Yeah, I'll put it somewhere.
No, just right across the whole middle.
Get a stamp.
Probationary paramedic.
Motion to accept Rachel Janet Capello.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, it's unanimous. Yes, this is missing one.
I do have one question. It has to do with the change in hourly rate on these firefighters. Most of these are done based upon time in,
Training, I think.
training.
Yeah, I believe from, and I'm going by memory from most of them, I think they went from like medic to paramedic. So,
Okay.
yeah. Love, yeah.
Yeah, Rachel just finished training. I know she did.
Right, this one here as well, Cynthia, be the next one, just complete her paramedic training.
Motion to accept?
Second.
This one is for Cynthia Morton. All in favor?
Aye.
It's unanimous. So the resignation,
Motion to accept the resignation of Eric Toya?
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
It's unanimous.
But I was still working downstairs too.
I saw you call. You can't.
This is one of the new forms here.
It wasn't 6 o'clock.
Richard Holman.
Yeah, Richard Holman. A couple of things. On this particular one, by the increased hours, it kicks him over 20 hours a week, correct?
So can I, let me share, this is
Please.
probably the main reason I'm here. Because we've had meetings with various people within the building. Since 2015, he's been working 20 hours. So when he went on medical leave in January, it became clear that he should have been benefited because for 4 years, he's been working 20 hours, over 20 hours. So we're really not what our goal is to correct what's happened over the last 4 years. So most of his benefits that he gets currently are paid by the grant. He doesn't want health benefits, so when he enrolls, because he's my age, he has a great health plan already called Medicare. So he doesn't need the health benefits, but they'll be required to offer them to him. I think the main difference is retirement. He goes to a different retirement plan. He has to kick in more, and I think the town has to then pay the benefit too. So it's really not an increase hours, it's correcting what's been going on for the last 4 years. We've tried, it's not a position where you work from like 8:30 to 3, 4 days a week. It's as needed basis, so he could get a call to pick up somebody at 7:30 in the morning, and he could drop somebody off at 4 o'clock at night, and then the next day get nobody. So he doesn't work. He only works when he's driving or driving to pick up somebody and dropping them off and waiting at the call. But in between calls, he doesn't get paid. So it's hard to say 2 drivers, we need a backup driver.
He's basically on call.
He's basically on call. He does, our call volume, our number of usage has doubled in the last year. The amount of seniors from 2010 survey, our census was 1212 or 1208 or something. We're now over 2,000. And the number of van trips has gone up substantially based on an increase of needs. So, and we did meet a lot about this already internally to say what can we do to correct this, and I think a lot of the consensus is the only thing we can do is provide him and offer him the benefits. And according to Jen, they budget for additional benefits in case a situation comes up where they need to add a benefit position. So it's not.
Who's they, COA?
Well, we
treasurer.
don't.
The town.
The town provides benefits, yeah. The different departments don't.
Right, because there's a letter attached to this, I don't know if you saw the letter from Vicky. I will read
Yeah,
it.
she said she wrote a short book.
It says, currently the van driver has been working over the initial PCF of less than 20 hours per week without benefits. This PCF is being put forth so the amount of hours being worked matches the approved PCF. While I'm signing this to state we do not have enough money in the grant to pay these hours going forward, they will need to be watched and adjusted accordingly when we need to get to the end of the year. And I think
That's
we'll...
just to stay within the $30,000 grant that we get, yeah. Because she kind of manages the grant monies and...
And then she just finishes by saying, I think we need more discussion whether or not the town needs 1 or 2 van drivers.
I believe that in the old days, under Mass General Law, we were only allowed to overspend the winter roads budget. So I believe that she's basically telling us we are going to overspend a budget, which means we got to look at this sooner than later. They should not be allowed to overspend a budget.
We won't
We should take
overspend.
action.
We monitor that, but we were $8,000 under budget this year.
Okay.
And that's, so we watch that budget very closely, and we work very closely with Vicki to make sure that we don't.
I'm not questioning, what I want to make sure of is, one thing about me personally, I hate surprises. I really hate surprises. That's why I kind of warn that a little bit ahead of time to make sure, even if you're getting close, we'd appreciate a heads up on it.
Right.
Yeah.
So that you don't overspend a budget and we remain in compliance and we can make some type of an action to whether it be transfer money, go to a town meeting, whatever. Okay?
Yeah, and
Yes, no?
the
Yeah,
good
I
thing
agree.
about
Yeah.
also is that we have, the Friends of the Council on Aging that are there in case there's any issue that can help supplement.
Right, they-
We really try to stay within the budget.
She's right, they did very well with the budget last year, so.
We really, we just want to make him, we don't want to be breaking the law and not offering him benefits when he's been,
No, it's just I heard Vicky's letter, and in
Yeah.
Vicky's letter, she indicated that the money isn't in the budget.
well,
And when I hear that, I go, oh, wait a minute.
Well, the caveat is this, and they didn't spend all of the grant last year, but just theoretically is that, okay, you got $30,000. If they had spent all of it last year, another assumption is that, okay, the van driver makes X amount of dollars, there was X amount of dollars, or there was X amount of hours possibly available to drive the van, because it also covers gas, repairs to the van, training, stuff like that. So if we were going to start paying benefits out of that, it theoretically means there are less hours available to actually drive the van.
Right, but the benefits are gonna get paid through the town, not through the grant, is what you were saying before?
No, I'm just saying that, okay, it does have to be managed carefully because it could come to the end of the year, and because of what's come out is, if the demand goes up and what's come out additionally to pay for the benefits, is that means that there's actually less hours available to drive the van than there may have been in the past of physically driving the van.
Yeah, and let's just make sure that if we do start getting close to it, or it does look like in January or February, we could be hitting that $30,000 number, that kind of a little bit
Yeah,
of a
we get
red
a
flag is
quarterly
thrown up,
report.
and we,
Franklin Regional Transit sends us a quarterly report, so it's very easy for us to track a very complicated grant because they provide that.
I make-
He's all over it, so.
make a motion to approve the PCF on Richard Hoffman.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
It's unanimous.
Thank you for your good insight, I appreciate that. I mean, we cut out Fridays because the year before we got very close, so we went to Mondays through Thursday, we cut out some fun, like to Stanley Park stuff, so medical is the key, the number one purpose of the van, and if we have to cut hours, it's cutting trips that.
But I'm sure if we see it ahead of time and we can take action and possibly go back before town meeting for something such as this, I don't really foresee, well, again, I can't speak for a town meeting, but I know I would support it to keep the van going.
Okay, great, thank you.
I agree with that.
All right, the next two are for the police department. These are both resignations.
One was for the state police and the other one
It's for Chicopee.
for Chicopee Police Department full-time.
Yep.
Make a motion to accept the resignations of Brendan Heath and John Roach.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
It's unanimous.
John Roach just finished the training? Is he going to have to pay it back?
I believe so. If that's the.
No, I thought that was how Chief Elmsworth was going to have it, where
Correct.
if they left in a certain time frame, there's a prorated amount they have to pay back.
Was he one of the guys recently that did that?
I'm not sure when it came into, I know that he was thinking that way, so if someone finishes training, they don't just,
It was,
after we've invested the money?
right, it was prorated so that if they, I think it was after the first year,
Yeah.
they reimbursed the town 100%. Second year was 70% or 50, whatever it was, that went on to like 4-year.
I was also rather interested when I brought it up to the PPB, and that is the amount of retired state troopers that we have in this town. It's incredible. I mean, I don't know whether you know that or not. They're bumping the state troopers all over the place.
Yes,
They're
you do.
retired. You have no idea. Okay.
Yes, you do.
And I would really like to encourage them, if we got a full young police department on board, if they're looking for little part-timers to bring in, I think, you know, you don't have to send them back to the academy, they're already there.
No, you don't.
So I mean, it's something that should possibly be brought up to the police chief to make consideration.
Yeah, yeah, why not? Why not?
We don't have to worry about somebody leaving or any training because it's already there.
It's quite the risk once you put them through all that schooling. And but I wondered if this one was the one that started where he would sit there and say if they left in a certain time frame, they pay back a certain amount.
It could be, I'm not
It
sure.
would just be nice to know that because we just invested all that money.
Right. All right, next one is for Dennis Senegal.
This one's a merit raise. I know it's in the,
Where is he? Oh, right, water department, okay. And it's coming within their,
I checked on that, is actually within the enterprise fund. That is not a tax fund.
yep. Right, I saw that somewhere, what was on, here, this one here.
In fact, it's actually on here where they're being paid out of is, let me double check because I did this the other night and it certainly was. Let's check where our expense report is. I would just want to double check that number on there. It should be on the water department enterprise fund. Okay, what number do you have? It should be 615.
615.
451?
Yep.
114.
114, yep.
Water wages support, okay.
Okay, good.
That's out of their enterprise fund.
All right.
Motion to approve based upon the approval of the water superintendent.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
It's unanimous.
And of course, the other thing is, to me, is
All right. Next thing, we have no minutes to approve.
No, one more. The water department administrative assistant. Is there, for, it doesn't have a name.
Oops.
we'll figure it out.
Yeah, there is
Yeah,
no
there it is.
name on it. All right, because it's PRF.
Okay, yeah.
Correct. Sign that one already.
See you later.
Thank you.
A couple of questions I have on it also. Again, it's a PRF, new opening, 10 hours per week. A question I have that it concerns employees. If you have an employee that's working 2 different positions at 10 hours a week, does that now make them 20 eligible for?
Absolutely.
It does. So
Absolutely.
it's the total number of hours.
Well, at least if the
That they were-
20 kicks off the offer of insurance.
Okay.
Then after that, I gotta go to the PPPB rules and regulations to see what else we maybe should be offered. But 20 hours automatically kicks off.
Who's,
Even if it's two different positions.
Correct.
is this Robin Richard? Who's he?
She's already benefited, so it makes sense.
Oh, no, because I saw somewhere else on previous agenda or minutes, I saw her name in there, and then also now it just said water administrative assistant, so I just didn't know if that was her taking on 10 more hours.
Well, if you got a PRF versus a PCF, the PRF is just
It's
Open
open
to the
to
job.
anyone.
It's open to anybody.
Yeah,
at this
okay.
point.
No,
Right.
I have,
opening up the announcement.
because at first I thought maybe it was because I know the treasurer's office handles some of the water department stuff, so I
Okay, now,
just
has
didn't
this
know.
been signed off already by town accountant for the funds? And where would they be coming from?
Water department.
Water
It is
department.
water department.
Right, same expense line that you just had.
Perfect, okay, water department wages, okay.
Yeah.
They're looking for somebody to take the minutes of the meetings.
I don't see.
The old Smokey Vollert position.
The what?
Long before you got here, Smokey Vollert, Beck, he did that for water department and highway department for many, many years.
Yeah, there is no spot for Vicky on here, actually, so. All right, I thought I had a
It's a
question.
PRF, it should be touching our bottom line of the town budget.
Correct. It looks like the annual expense is gonna be like 99,1278.
The only additional concern that we have to have is if this is given to an existing 10-hour-a-week employee, will it kick in benefits? But again, you can't make that determination, so.
Right. And at that point, it is,
That's
right. If they
Well,
hire
it
that,
is.
You can't make the determination on a PRF, you can PCF.
right, if they make that decision to hire the best person for this position, then it happens, it kicks in. Now, is there any incentive for somebody that's eligible and does not take the benefit?
What's that?
Is there an incentive for employees over 20 that do not take the benefits, like the insurance?
Well, start thinking of it as a multiple path issue. Is automatically, even if you've got one person doing 2 separate jobs in 2 different departments, once you hit 20, you got to offer the health benefits, and they might not need them, they might not take them. You're correct.
Right.
However, once you hit that 20 hours, we also have to take a look at vacation time, sick, personal, bereavement, and the decision of if it's a retirement eligible at that point or whatever. That's a little bit out of our control. It really becomes county retirement wise, but it's possible.
I meant just as far as, not all the benefits, but say just for the insurance, where if somebody...
Well, that could be even a full-time position. Someone might not take the health insurance. They might be on.
Right, because my spouse has a better plan.
Right.
But because it's offered, I'll take it. But could you offer, is there anything in place to offer that particular person an incentive to go to their spouse's plan?
Not currently.
Because a lot of people are doing that now. I know we do it. And it's a lot cheaper to pay them $75 a week
There's a lot of different things being
than it is to pay out $1,500 a month.
being offered. There's also it's starting to get popular where it's a requirement that basically if your spouse has the ability to, shall we say, partake of a health insurance plan at their work, that you can't get a...
Yep, I've seen that in the
Yeah,
list.
instead of having a 2-employee plan, have
Right,
them do a
right.
single and you do a single and it's cheaper. All right, yeah.
Yeah. But a lot of that also has to, it gets even more complicated because you've got employees that are not part of unions, and you got employees that are part of unions, and if they're part of the unions, then you have to negotiate that through the unions. So. But that is there are all kinds of little things that are starting to pop up in health insurance.
In the old days, you weren't even allowed to ask about that, upon whether you were going to accept it or not, due to the fact that it was not a negotiable point for employment. If it was offered, you were offered it, and that was it. That was...
It makes a difference when we're hiring. I mean, just meaning the rate we end up paying the person, because we know that we have to then carry the insurance on top.
All right, do we bring this to a vote? Or a
I think a motion that we allow the PRF to go forward.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Want those? Or do you put them,
I can give them back to Art for you.
or we can put them in his mailbox too. Either way.
Because the next topic. there's no rush on them. I've already got them on the agenda for our next Tuesday night select board meetings.
Okay.
That'll be the next step, but I can give them back to Art so he knows what's been approved and what hasn't.
Okay.
And I'll have to rescan them all with your signatures because my board is smart enough to know to look for that on there and go, have these been approved?
I was at one of the meetings, and they literally, you can see them going down.
Oh, yeah, it gets, when it's like either the day before or the same day, it gets a little more difficult because I've scanned them already prior to your signatures, so now they've got those, and it's like, because that package goes out, obviously, usually like on the Friday or over the weekend, so. But yeah, they if there's not a signature on there with what I scanned for finance, they're asking, have these been approved by finance yet?
All right, so we don't have the minutes.
No, because Clark
done up
didn't
yet.
get them done yet.
That's okay. Old business? I don't have any business. New business? No new business. No new business. Liaison reports?
Again, we're from the PPPB. Basically, I thought we were going to be exempt from the PCFs. It looks like we're now back into the PCFs temporarily, but we'll kind of work that out. And again, from the board here, do we really, if it's a straightforward PCF, my concern is that we're doing nothing more than holding it up or slowing it down.
Right.
Yep, there's no money change, difference in the amount, the budget.
I agree.
So does the board agree with me if that should be our position
Well,
within
yes.
the PPPB if they want to remove us from it on a standard PCF, that
Yeah,
we support them on that?
if there's no budgetary impact, there should be no reason why we hold it up.
And maybe just send out a notice or something.
Yeah.
You know.
But again, now comes the catch. We also have to change the bylaw.
Correct.
So thus, we have to maintain doing this until the bylaw is changed. But
Yeah, the biggest thing I saw in there is just not having it on the form at all. There are instances where it really should be coming to finance, probably a much smaller percentage than overall or whatever, but to me, just not having it on there, it's like, okay, then what happens if the instance comes up there where it needs to come up here, there's not a line, so, yeah. I probably should have, now that it's been added, I should probably ask Robin if she can add to it if needed or something at the
Little box,
so
so you put a check mark,
we
say
have
required.
to keep it as is, though, until the town bylaw is changed.
But you could still put,
Yeah.
as needed or whatever. I mean, the other thing I went to look at because, and she created them in Word, I'm looking for a relatively inexpensive program that the town can buy to do forms to convert that, because I'd like to have instances where in some of those boxes you fill out or what have you, that if they don't fill it out, they can't actually submit it, that you get to the end of the thing, like some of the ones that we fill out every once in a while, and if you go, submit or whatever, it'll kick back and say, oh, you missed this required field or what have you. So.
Yeah, there's gotta be something you use. My mind was wrapping around Excel, but then it still doesn't stop you.
No, I think it's going to be an Adobe program. But I just, like I said, I want to see what's out there that is
Like
relatively
DocuSign or something?
inexpensive. Yeah, could be.
Something that's comparable to DocuSign, something that makes you have to go through all the parts before you can get to that bottom.
No, yeah.
All right, as far as CPC goes, there's really nothing, we went through a pretty quick meeting.
I think the Hampshire Regional's meeting tonight, I realized yesterday.
They are reading tonight.
Whoops.
Because you were at 5:30, I think they're at 6.
There's no way I'm getting up there that quick.
Anything else we need to go over?
I see nothing. I see nothing.
No, nothing. Do we want to schedule out a month out? Because what happened this time is I don't sit there and mentally think about it and get things done ahead of time. And I can tell you, come end of September, it's going to get crazy. I'm 2 months away from being a grandmother.
You are?
Yep, October. 2 months ago.
weeks.
2 months.
Oh, 2 months.
So it's just all, she's at a certain point, I just want her to make another month. Hopefully she cooks the baby another month.
Yeah, I became a grandparent for the first time in April, so.
And this summer for him.
You'll love it.
It's just,
I'm
I can't
with
wait.
you.
I told my kids, slow way down.
It's great, once you get there, you're gonna be like,
Well, and then I'm taking time off, and I will be up at her house and taking a few weeks going up there, so I figured I'd go help him out, and while she sleeps, I get to hold the baby.
do we want to say the 23rd or the 30th?
23rd would probably be better, because if anything major comes up before October 1st, we should be able to
Okay.
knock it off. October 1st seems to be one of those dates where a lot of things happen.
And I will let you know, we're coming up probably end of September, beginning of October with a special town meeting.
Okay.
Okay. September.
And that would be on a Monday night,
No, Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Tuesday night.
Tuesday nights.
Okay, so you have to watch out. It could be the very same night as special town meeting.
No, that would be the night before. The Tuesday.
Oh, I'm sorry, the night before Monday night. Today's Monday. Oh, I'm losing.
Don't worry, the weekend just went too fast. My brain is still stuck.
Doesn't start talking on Friday, so I'm all kind of...
I need a do-over on the weekend.
But
But-
we'll also have to ask you if there's, I mean, most of the stuff that'll be on this will be bylaw related and whatever, that you might not have a recommendation one way or the other. One thing that will be on there is we have to put on the town meeting portion of the borrowing as a, let's say, debt exclusion for the East Street Bridge again. Because if you do a town meeting vote before an election, and I can't remember the exact number of days, it's either 90 or, can't be more than 90 or 120, and I think it's 90. And since we did the special town meeting, I think it was in
Who's one in February?
January. It was February, but the time limit to the actual election date was greater than what it should be, and I think it was 90 days. So we have to put it on a special town meeting again, and if you do the special town meeting vote after you do the election vote, then there is no time requirement. However, both bond counsel and legal counsel said you're better off doing it sooner rather than later, so people remember.
The whole borrowing, or just the phrase that it's a debt exclusion?
Well, the whole article.
Okay.
Yeah, the whole article. The election piece is still good, but because it was greater than that 90 days, we have to put the article back on this for a special town meeting. So.
Dot the i's and cross the t's.
Exactly.
Any business to the next meeting? I have none.
The only reason we'd have to have a meeting before that is if there's a whole bunch of PCFs waiting for
Or
us. but-
if something comes up, right? And we can get together something if we need to, so.
Yeah.
I'm
So
good.
next regular meeting, we want to go to the 23rd.
9:23, 5:30.
And once you know when the special town meeting's approaching
Right.
and becoming more real, then let us know. We'll sit there and adjust.
Yep.
And you know you're going to have a PCF coming back to you whenever that one gets straightened out at BPPB.
Yep.
For,
I was,
Yeah,
I was the evil one. I was the one that had to say no to it. And
Well,
if I can't make sense of it,
well, actually, the financial piece
Yep.
to me makes perfect sense. That was the easy part, but the fact that because the person has actually left the employee of the town, they really should do, if they, and I don't know if they've done this or not, they should do a Cory check.
was that temporary van driver? Yes, but where I was confused on it was on the left side, they were indicating 38 hours a week and everything else. I'm sitting there going,
What?
this is a brand new hire. How can they be working 38 hours a week?
Because it's on call. He's got to cover for the van driver, so when the van driver's not here. So if the van driver isn't here on a vacation week, the person's got to work the same amount of hours, which is over 20. But however, it's on a very erratic basis, so to actually get to owing the benefits, it's got to be like every week, which it isn't. So that's what
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.